Hello and welcome back to the Jessica Pinelli podcast. It is 3:12 p.m. I'm feeling a little bit sleepy, but I'm excited to record these podcast episodes because I'm going to do this one and then I'm going to record another one straight after this. And so I was just spending some time to ground myself and really tune in into what I wanted to record this episode because the next episode that you listen to after this should be a business series episode. So I was like, what do I feel is going to really set me in the vibe of speaking about business? But what is something that I feel the collective needs to hear? And so I'm really excited to bring you this episode as always. But we are going to do a affirmation card pull. So on YouTube, you can see that I have got this nice satin pink bag. I actually got this gifted from a friend a few years ago. I love it. It always sits at my desk. I am going to just going to shuffle. I'm going to ground in. But while you're thinking of a number 1 to 3, I would love it if you are here on YouTube to press the subscribe button to give this video a thumbs up. It really, really does help push out my videos and to get them to other like minded women, people around the world. And also, if you're listening here, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you're listening to a podcast, if you are capable, if you're driving, probably not, but if you're having a walk, I would love it if you could just give this a 5 stars, leave a written review. It takes 5 seconds. But like I said, this really, really helps my channel because it is able to push it out to other people and it keeps it in the loop. And, there is a reason why the podcast has just reached so many different corners of the globe this year. And it has been because of you guys pushing it out, sharing it with your friends, sharing on my story, tagging me at Just Pinelli. I love it. I love having a conversation with all of you in the DMs. And as you all know, I'm just starting to put these recorded versions on YouTube. So again, press the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. Let me know as well, like whether it's starting my DMs or in the comments for YouTube. What do you want me to speak about? What have been your favorite episodes this year that you really want me to dive deeper into? Maybe you want me to do a part 2, and I can absolutely do that. But have you got your number? Either a 1 to 3, so 1, 2, or 3, whatever. I'm just like shuffling, grounding in. These are little affirmations. It's like a word and then it kind of explains it and I'll tune into it. And I want you to stick with whatever your number was. I'm going to pick out the cards now for what I feel. Okay, this one, I'm not going to look. That one is number 1. That one is number 2. And let's do a number 3. I'm feeling like going to this way of the bag. My hand's like, no, this one, whatever I'm feeling. Okay, this is number 3. I'll put it on this leg. All right, my number ones. I have so much on my lap, by the way. You can't see. I have my phone. I have this bag, the cards. I have my Invisalign because I've been taking my Invisalign out to just a side note, I'm taking my Invisalign out when I record over the past couple weeks because I have to get actually updated Invisaligns. The ones that they sent me, like I'm halfway through, they actually don't fit my teeth anymore because my teeth have moved differently, like in a good way, just differently to the molds. So yeah, it's actually really annoying to speak with this one. It doesn't fit me quite well. So I do have a bit of a lisp. And obviously on the podcast, I speak quite fast because I'm excited. So I have those. Kind of gross one. And then I have the control for my box lights. Anyway, my number ones. Are we ready? Aspire. Cute little cards, as you can see. Aspire. Okay, so it says create your dreams, write your story, live your destiny. So really, whatever you're aspiring, this is really your sign to start to pave that path. And write your story is sticking out to me out of all of this because it's kind of like, are you following someone else's story? Are you having trouble creating your own story? Remembering, and this is a conversation I had with my partner this morning, you get to create your own story. You get to create your own path. We are often put in situations and experiences and in relationships which makes us feel like we can't create our own story or we can't create our own path, but we absolutely can. So aspire. That's my number ones. My number twos, make your move. The capacity for greatness lies not in your abilities or expertise, but in the courage to take action. So, whatever you were thinking of when you chose number 2, whatever has been on your mind, make the move, just take the action. Messy inspired action, that's actually going to come into this conversation today. So, maybe this podcast episode is exactly what you need to hear. But this is just by taking the action, moving the needle forward, and honestly, one of the best mindset shifts that you can make is taking action. I think a lot of people actually underestimate what taking action means. But as I said, I'm going to go into more of that in this podcast episode today. So that was my number twos. And lucky last, my number threes is shine. All of these kind of like mix together. Shine. You were not born to hide within the shadows of yourself, but to glow in all your potential. So, as I was reading that, the first thing that came to mind is maybe you have a fear of being seen. This has actually been a topic of conversation for some of my one on one clients. Fear of being seen, fear of being judged, fear of being heard and shown, showing people who you truly are. And this is just a reminder not to dim your light. Do not dim your light when it comes to what you are trying to do in your personal life, your business. Do not dim your light when it comes to your friends, your family, people on the internet. You are here to be a born leader. You are here to shine. So, yeah, I love those. Those all kind of tied into one, I guess, collective theme and very fitting for today's podcast episode. So I've got my phone here because I took notes so I didn't forget anything. But basically, today I'm going to be talking about 5 habits for a successful life. Now, to preface this, these are habits that I have, things you can do, habits, however you want to say it, ways to create success. But these are the things that I've been doing for this year with full intention. It doesn't mean that these are brand new things I've started. It doesn't mean that they're things that you probably haven't heard of before. You have more than likely heard of every single one of these, but this is a reminder of things that really move the needle and that are going to set you up for success. One of the main questions I always ask my client when they are discussing something with me, when they are making new moves in their personal life, professional life, is how is this move actually setting you up for success? And so the 5 things that I give you today, this is like a really like quick little pep talk podcast episode for you to think about and for you to be like, okay, how can I implement these? What I will say, these work really well for me, these work well for my clients. Do you need to do all of them? No, but I feel that if you listen to this podcast episode, you're into self growth, you're into personal development, then this is absolutely going to be something you're probably going to want to implement. At time of recording as well, my Black Friday bundle Revolution is on sale. I'm going to leave the link in the show notes below. And because this is a podcast episode, I will leave that link active for a little bit longer than the Black Friday weekend, just in case some of you listen to this a week after this. But that is all of my most loved programs, trainings, most bought programs and trainings. Uh, that I will never be bringing back. And so this is why it is 96% off. And it includes 2 of my most loved programs, the Fen Club and the Confidence Collective, all of the trainings, all of the resources inside of those two. There is no coaching element except there is a bonus. And you guys have heard me speak about Ready to Regulate, my 1 week mini mine. It begins the 27th of November. And that is a bonus inclusion. So you do get the coaching. If you're listening to this in real time, you will get the coaching um, bit of it, but the rest are the trainings. But when I tell you there is over $15,000 worth of training resources, visualization meditations, EFT tapping, and just a bunch of other resources when it comes to my own frameworks that I teach, when it comes to PDFs and being able to really workshop. I'm a big visual person when it comes to teaching my clients. And so I have a lot of frameworks that I've actually created on Canva. I haven't gotten from anyone. I haven't tried to Photoshop as my own from someone else's. These are things that I've actually developed and created. A bit of a graphic designer vibe inside of Canva. So you will also in some of the containers, you will see these. This is 96% off. And like I said, it's because these trainings and programs will not be coming back out again from 2024. If you've been listening to the podcast for the past couple of weeks, you will know that Will Mastery Mastermind is my 4-month mastermind. It is going to be the way to work with me in 2024 and actually moving forward. It is my signature mastermind. 4 months, it's all about mastering your subconscious thoughts, being able to learn how to regulate and manage your emotions. It is application based because I really want a mastermind feel. At the time of this recording, this week, 3 amazing women. Oh my God. I'm so fucking excited already Three amazing women have signed up, been successful in their applications. This is why I do applications, because masterminding isn't just about group, like me teaching you something. Group coaching is really just like, I'll teach you something, you ask a few questions. Masterminding is being in a group of people that you can actually learn from and support each other. And you get the support from me from an expertise level. So it's really, this isn't for beginners. If you're looking, I would highly recommend though, if you want to learn from my stuff, get the Black Friday Revolution bundle, because there is my trainings are in depth in the sense they're not like hours long, because who has time to listen to an hour, a 90-minute training? No one, right? The trainings there, they're quick to the point and they give you really, really practical stuff, especially within the Fem Club and the Confidence Collective. You'll love them. And so if you are like, I want to start by myself, I'd recommend that bundle. But if you were someone and you're a newbie, I'd recommend that bundle. But if you're not, you've been doing this for a couple of years and you would love some support when it comes to changing the way you think, when it comes to learning how to regulate your emotions, when it comes to shifting and changing your identity, the mastermind is for you. So all of that will be in the details below. But oh my God, the women that are already coming into the mastermind, I'm freaking excited. But let's get on to this. Like I said, this is like a punchy little episode, but as always, I put on this microphone, guys, and the Gemini in me, the talkative part, is like, okay, you've been having a slow day. Now we're having a fast day. So, 5 habits for a successful life, 5 habits to create success in your life that have just truly transformed my life and my clients' lives. Number one, visualization, meditation upon awakening and going to sleep. There is a bunch of these included in the bundle. When I say a bunch, there is at least 30 plus that I have recorded myself. I've actually been told, not to toot my own horn, but I've been told that they are some of the best visualization meditations, can't speak, meditations that women have ever done, ever heard, and ever been guided. They are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. When I record a meditation, they are fucking mwah, chef's kiss. But in saying that, you can just Google, YouTube, anything like that, a visualization meditation, right? It's very easily accessible in this day and age. This is number one. There should be absolutely no excuse. Get into the habit. When I was in I've kind of got into the habit. Like when I was in Europe, I wasn't really listening to a guided one. And so I'd fall asleep and I'd visualize my life. I'd visualize my future, but that wouldn't always happen. Now I'm back and back into my routine when it comes to meditations. Most of the time I will fall asleep listening to a guided visualization meditation, and when I wake up I will do it as well, and it just becomes habit, it just becomes normal. Sometimes, if let's say Tuesday I start really early with my client calls and I want to have quality sleep, I want to show up to my calls in my full potential, so I'm not going to wake up like 30-45 minutes earlier. So I do make sure that in between my calls I do make time to ground myself and do a visualization meditation. Why do we do it? When we're waking up and when we're going to sleep, we're in a theta, so theta state, which means the brain waves are slower, which means your brain is going to be impressed on a lot easier. The subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is happening in real time and what you're making up. So the more that you do that, the more you can really connect your visualizations of your future self and who you are and the downloads that you're getting. There are a few mind movies that I have that are so concrete in my mind that it's like I right now I'm speaking, I'm looking at the camera, but I can see them so vividly in my mind because I played them so many times. I can anticipate those feelings, I can see it. That's how I want you to get. These are a great way also to start your day and to end your night without scrolling on your phone, not being stimulated in other ways, like TikTok for 2 hours, all of that. Make a habit of it. If it's anything from this list that you take away, I mean, you should be implementing everything I give you today, but this is number one for a reason, because it's so easy, it's so simple. And I need to say that you don't need to do like a 30-minute or 60-minute one. There are ones like that. The one thing I love about the meditations that's included in the bundle, they're all within the Woman Up Monthly section, is because the shortest is 4 minutes, and I think the longest is like 11 or 12. They're quick, they're easy, and they get you into the flow. So number one, visualization, meditation. Number two, Okay, this is the type A in me. My friends make fun of me, but it has created a successful personal life and a successful business. Planning, planning ahead. And I don't mean planning. You know how you can like plan and make to-do lists and it gives you a dopamine hit, but you get nothing done? No, use calendars. I always say, and I've said it before on this podcast, if it's not in my Google Calendar, it is absolutely not happening. Plan for success. It is crazy to me that people have a goal in their life, but they have no plan. And I don't just mean like use your calendars or, yes, use your calendars, but use a Notion board, use an Asana board. These are all like project manager things. I love pen to paper. I really do. And I still use it. I have so many notebooks around my house because I write down ideas and I prefer that. However, in this day and age, it's just more practical to have digital versions. So I have a digital planner, I have my Google Calendar, I have my Google Docs that I'm always making notes on. I have the notes on my phone, I have the notes on my MacBook. But you need to plan for the goals to be able to master your life, to be part of woman mastery. And this is why I've called my mastery woman mastery. You need to be able to have a plan of attack. Like I said, it's fucking insane to me how many women I'll have conversations with and they have this big goals and visions for their life. They'll do the visualization, but I'm like, okay, so what's your plan of attack when we're moving? And it's either the same boring shit that hasn't gotten them the results, but yet they're doing the same thing. Or it's like, oh, I don't have a plan, but like I know I meant to do this, or I know that I'm going to be successful, or I'm going to make this amount of money. That's great, but you still need to adopt a bit of masculine energy and a bit of type A. You need to plan yourself for success, and also keep yourself organized. I think running a business has really, like, I've always been kind of like this, but running a business over the past couple of years, it has allowed me to set myself up to be really successful and to simplify things, especially now as I'm scaling. So, whatever your goals are, whatever's in those visualization meditations, make sure you are making a plan that is moving the needle. What is the most productive? And we'll speak about this a little bit more in another point, but what is the most productive thing that you can do to move the needle? And if you reflect on, let's say, the last 3 to 6 months and you've been doing certain things, maybe you're listening and you're like, I've had a plan, I'm doing this, nothing's working. Okay, that's an indication to me that all that planning, you're either not actioning to your full potential or you've done it and it's not worked, but you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. It's amazing. I work with a few women who have online businesses and they've gone like 12 months doing the exact same thing, posting the exact same stories or same content, changing nothing, trying to work harder, trying to do more, and all of this, and nothing changes. And it's because, yeah, you have a plan of content or what you're going to say, but there's no real plan of attack to master that area of your life. And that's an important thing. I go more into this type of way of living and really mastering your life inside of the War Mastery Mastermind. That is number two. Number three, okay, movement for somatic purposes. This is what I put here. You need to have some form of movement every single day. I don't care if it's weightlifting, if it's yoga, if it's just stretching. I put somatic purposes. I'll explain that in a second. If it's dancing, going for a walk, whatever, you need to move your body. I put somatically because you need to release any stagnant energy that's in your body. You need to shake it about. You need to get that. You need to move. Your spirit needs to move. You will feel a lot of dysregulation. Like I've had days in a row where I've been working on something and I've been like sat at the desk for hours and hours and hours at a time. And I'm so like antsy by the end. It's because I haven't moved any energy from my body. Remember, we are atoms that are compacted together. We are vibrating at a certain frequency. If those atoms are stuck in that place for a long time, you are going to feel like crap. So make sure every single day, like I literally don't care if all you can do is walk for 5 minutes out your house, around the block, and back up. That is better than nothing. But again, of course, we want to push ourselves. And normally I'll like start a walk and I'm like, okay, I can keep going, or I'll start a workout. Yeah, especially as women and with our cycles, is that always the case? No, it isn't. However, I believe, and even on our periods, maybe this is a controversial thing, but I believe we should be moving because somatically we need to release stagnant energy. Somatically, we need to shake it about, like shake, literally shake. You're on your period. Okay, you can shake for 1 minute. just to move any stress or tension or anxiety or dysregulation in the body. So start to think, how can I implement that more? And also, if I'm not feeling better after my movement, or I'm not feeling that invigorated feeling, or I'm still feeling like blurt when I come back, it's probably because you are so dysregulated that you've just kind of moved a little bit of energy around, but it hasn't made that much of an impact. That's probably an indication you need to do it more often, or you just need to be very, very mindful or what you're doing throughout the day. One of my friends, she does, every day, like an intense CrossFit workout, moving her body a lot, sweating a lot, breathing a lot. But she has been under a lot of stress with a few things, personal, professional life lately. And so those workouts don't make her feel any better. Remember, workouts is also stress on the body. So that to me would be an indication, like, how can we be more mindful and intentional in our day to day life? Where can we seek help? What can we do? But I digress, right? All I want to point out here is, yes, this may seem a weird habit for success, but I promise you, do not underestimate being able to move stagnant energy out of your body to find clarity in your day to day. Because you have clarity in your day to day, you can achieve a lot more. Number 4, you all know how often I say this. I coin this as my saying: take 1% of messy inspired action every single day. And I will keep saying it. If you're new to this saying, welcome. Welcome to the 1% Messy Inspired Action Club. I really should get that put on t-shirts. Should I trademark that before anyone like, I could just imagine like a boyfriend oversized tee with like a nice font, like a green color or a black color, 1% Messy Inspired Action. That sounds nice. Maybe I'll just have to see if I can make one for myself. Maybe eventually I can get into the business of selling these. Anyway, if you want that, let me know. I can put you on like a waiting list, maybe in a few years' time. But 1% of messy inspired action, why isn't it so important? Because so many fucking people get momentum and then it's like 2 weeks. I see people fall off the 2 to 3 week mark and they're like, can't be fucked, or something comes up, or I'm too busy, I'm too tired, or it's too hard, and I stop. It compounds. I don't know how to reiterate this anymore. It compounds, it compounds, it compounds. It matters. It all matters. Everything you do matters. I don't care if that 1% one day is like 5 minutes of work, like push yourself. But a lot of my business friends call me the queen of consistency, with the amount of content I put out, with the way that I have pushed in my business, and my ability to make moves. The reason is because I'm always taking 1% of messy inspired action. When I'm sad, when I'm angry, when I'm happy, when I'm tired, when I'm on my period, when I've had a fight with my partner, when I'm feeling dysregulated. Now, does that mean I'm dysregulated? So I'm on my stories and I'm selling from a dysregulated state? No, I pick and choose things that I can do in that moment. But my ability over the past 4.5 years is showing up the 1% messy inspired action. And I would never, ever, ever stop saying this, because you may hear this and you're like, yeah, obviously, obviously, but the amount of women that still don't, they'll treat themselves to a day off when they're first starting their business, or they'll make a sale and they'll lose they'll have the momentum, they'll make a sale, and it's like, oh, I'm taking today off. Fuck no, you don't take today off. You'd still do something towards that business or your career. You're dating and you put in half the effort, or you don't try anything new. No, 1%, and it looks different to everyone. I'm not here to tell you what's right, what's wrong. Absolutely not. That's for you to decide. But I also believe this comes with a bit of self reflection. If you can honestly sit with yourself and be like, this is a really good 1% of messy inspired action for me, and you can really sit with that, then okay, go ahead. But I have known in my experience that when I get honest with myself, sometimes I'm just being fucking lazy. I'm just being lazy, and it's not about I need more motivation. It's actually because I have a fear of failure, fear of success, a fear of being seen, a fear of judgment, any of those. I've done all these episodes on these fears, so refer back to them and go listen to those if you're experiencing that. But the 1% of my C inspired action is something that has changed my life quite literally. The past couple of weeks, I always do, but I've had so much gratitude where I live, the apartment I'm in, the relationship that I have, my experiences. Today, I just booked 4 weeks away in Bali. I have a friend's 30th birthday that goes for 4 days, and I thought, why don't I just go for a month? That hasn't come from just hoping and wishing and visualizing. That has come from 1% of messy inspired action, being able to move the needle and get to that point, to be these opportunities, to create the life that I want. And this is, that may not be a value to you, and that's absolutely fine. But you've got to find what is a value to you so you can connect that to your messy inspired action and know that if you are in the same spot as you were 6 to 12 months ago in any area of your life, then something needs to change. And it's probably your ability to take action, actually, your lack of ability to take action. And I know that's going to be really hard for some people to hear, but it's something I had to get super honest about myself about in my 20s, why my life wasn't changing. So, number 4, take 1% of messy inspired action every single day. And our last one for the 5 habits for a successful life is having this mindset shift. This is what I teach my one on one clients. So, listen up. This is key. Neutralizing to bridge the gap. Neutralization is everything. Being able to come into neutrality is everything. Low polarity, without one pole, we can't have the other. Without happy, we can't have sad. Without hate, we can't have love. Without war, we can't have peace. This is everything in life. Every underline. It's universal law. But to be able to neutralize, and this is actually the emotional matrix framework that I teach my clients. I will be teaching the women inside of Wool Mastery Mastermind. Honestly, that framework alone, I have a few key signature frameworks, but that alone, it any of my clients can attest to how much it has changed their life. You learn the art of neutralizing your feelings and your reactions and your triggers. You will bridge the gap between where you are and where you desire to be a lot quicker and a lot faster. Most people live their life in fear or they live their life in fantasy land and they don't actually bridge the gap. It's just going back and forth between fear and fantasy, fear and fantasy. And that is not an effective way to live. It's also not a productive way to live. So, what I want you to start to think about is how can I neutralize my feelings? How can I neutralize who I am, like how I'm reacting to something, my triggers. So, from being over here, I can bridge the gap to get to here to where I really want to be. In Mastery Mastermind, the two main aspects that I really focus on and I think is so key for women, and this is like a side note for you to think about. Master your emotions and be able to change the way you think. And this comes into be able to neutralize. And so I know this mindset shift may be new and I can probably do a whole podcast episode on this, but honestly, if you want to get taken through step by step this framework and how to neutralize, it is a game changer. I was brought to tears in one of my last group calls because I teach it in all my group calls and I'm excited for the updated version in 2024. And I was brought to tears to watch these women that I'd had conversations at the start of the year that were low, unsure, living in fear, and now they're like, fuck, they are amazing. Like all of you watching this on YouTube can see my face. Like I'm in shock at just how incredible they are. And that comes from being able to come from a neutral point of view and to bridge the gap between where you are now and where you desire to be. Now, I hope that you've gotten a lot from these 5 habits and it's given you ideas of what to start to implement, what is resonating to you, maybe what you need to just start to do better. Maybe you're doing these things and you're like, okay, I need to refine them, I need to get better at them. That's what I want you to start to think about, especially as we're coming towards the end of the year. It's literally Christmas in a month and 2 days. So, and then we go into New Year's. What are the things you really need to do? And like I said, if you've been in the same spot in any area of your life for the past 6 to 12 months, it's really, really time to be honest with yourself, take some self responsibility of the things that you need to change. But as always, I appreciate every single one of you who are watching this, who are listening to this, that support me, that tag me in your stories, that come slide in and have a DM chat with me. It means the absolute world to me. And I will speak to you next episode. Bye.